This is a story of how one of the world's most iconic brands became one of Mexico's deadliest threats.
The largest cities in the world, and it is running out of water.
That Mexico City, by this summer, could no longer have a reliable source of water.
And believe me, type 2 diabetes is a condition you do not want to get if you can avoid it, and is entirely
Water
preventable.
shortages are nothing new, but the recent crisis and the realization that things are likely to get much worse before they get better.
It began at the 1970s. Coca-Cola quietly slipped into the Mexican market, but what started as a refreshing beverage quickly transformed into something far more dangerous. But Coca-Cola didn't do this alone. They had a powerful partner, Femsa. Femsa was a giant within the border of Mexico. Femsa was already a force to be reckoned with a well-established beverage business and a powerful network of dealers spread across the nation. Now, Femsa owns more than 20,000 convenience stores named OXXO. Their potential was clear, and that's exactly what Coca-Cola was after. A partner who could pave the way to not just sell, but dominate. Together, they became Coca-Cola Femsa, a powerful giant brand that would go on to control distribution, shape consumer habits, and ultimately alter the very culture of Mexico. Mexico has one of the highest diabetes rates in the world. As the crisis deepened, Coca-Cola poured money into lobbying, paying off officials, and silencing dissent. This is the dark story behind how Coca-Cola's is killing Mexico. A story of a corporation that didn't just sell soda, but sold out an entire country. For the indigenous people of Mexico, life was built on simplicity. But when Coca-Cola arrived, it wasn't just a new drink. It was a poison disguised as refreshment. Their bodies, unaccustomed to the onslaught of processed sugar, were completely unprepared for the devastation that followed. In Chiapas, one of Mexico's poorest states, finding a bottle of Coke is easier than finding clean water. And the cost? Just the same. In some areas, families face a brutal choice: pay for clean water or buy Coca-Cola to quench their thirst. And as Coca-Cola spread through Mexico, it didn't just become popular, it became addictive. Today, Mexico is called the world capital of Coke consumption. It's a grim title that tells a tragic story. In town like San Cristóbal in Chiapas, the sight of a baby drinking Coca-Cola instead of milk has become disturbingly common. Adults, meanwhile, consume more than 800 liters of soda per year. That's an equivalent of 3,000 small cups. Diabetes is now the second leading cause of death in the country, right after heart disease. 1 in 6 Mexicans live with diabetes, a number that has surged by 10% in just 2 years, according to the International Diabetes Foundation. And while the people were dying, Coca-Cola was flourishing, because Coca-Cola's influence goes beyond what we see on shelves. Their reach extends deep into the corridors of power. During Vicente Fox's presidency from 2000 to 2006, a man who was once the chief executive of Coca-Cola, the company experienced unparalleled growth. When the government suggested implementing a tax on sugary drinks, Fox turned a blind eye. He wasn't just a politician, he was one of Coca-Cola's own. Under his leadership, the idea of holding Coca-Cola accountable was brushed aside like a nuisance. But Coca-Cola didn't just rely on powerful allies. It created narratives, funding NGOs like the Mexican Diabetes Federation to push a dangerous lie that the real problem was the people, not the product. Blame their lack of exercise, not the sugar. Shift focus to personal responsibility, not corporate greed. The company's strategies were insidious. By 2006, they were even partnering with Mexico's health ministry, promoting a campaign called Ponte 100, which emphasized exercise over dietary change. Imagine, the very corporation responsible for Mexico's crisis was shaping the message, twisting the truth to suit its agenda. But in 2014, after years of resistance, Mexico took a stand. The government implemented a sugar tax, a small but significant step towards breaking Coke's hold on the nation. Soda consumption dropped by 12%. It was a victory, but a fragile one. Coca-Cola wasn't going to lose without a fight. They lobbied aggressively, diluting the tax's impact, and by 2020, the company's dominance remained largely unchallenged. Despite the tax, Mexico still ranks 4th in the world for soft drink consumption. In April 2017, a furious crowd gathered outside a Coca-Cola factory, holding signs that read, "Coca-Cola kills us." They were desperate, demanding the factory be shut down. Behind every march, every outcry, stands a force too powerful to be shaken. Some say Coca-Cola's influence reaches all the way to the top. There are whispers, rumors that one of their own even became the prime minister. a puppet master disguised as a leader, ensuring that no law, no protest, no outcry would ever threaten Coca-Cola's reign. But the dark reality is that Coca-Cola's thirst for profit didn't stop at changing diets. No, it went further, much further. Entire communities were drained dry, wells ran empty. It's no surprise that Mexico, a country strangled by this corporate grip, is now the world's largest per capita consumer of bottled water. How this multi-billion-dollar empire turned a human necessity into a commercial commodity. In the mountainous town of San Cristóbal, water flowing through the community's wells and rivers has become a scarce resource. Many neighborhoods only receive running water a few times a week, sometimes once, twice a week, and residents are forced to buy water from tanker trucks or bottled water. What was once a green town now faces a daily struggle for survival as water becomes harder to find. This is an image of the water reservoir Cerro Prieto in 2015, and this is the image of the same reservoir today. It shows how far the water scarcity has grown. However, despite these water problems, Coca-Cola seems unaffected. While locals fight for water, Coca-Cola operates many massive bottling plants around in many places of the town without any shortage of water. How is it that a company like Coca-Cola has easy access to water, while the people of the town struggle to meet their basic needs? The answer lies in how water rights are distributed. Coca-Cola's local partner, Femsa, is allowed to pump nearly 500 million liters of water each year from deep underground wells that reach over 130 meters into the earth. Meanwhile, the public wells that supply the town barely reach 25 meters deep, leaving them unable to compete with Coca-Cola's deep drilling. This imbalance has led to a situation where Coca-Cola products are easier to find than clean drinking water. This isn't just an issue that only affects this town. Across Mexico, Coca-Cola has over 65 bottling plants, drawing millions of liters of water reservoirs. In some regions, like Veracruz, Coca-Cola extracts more than 1.3 million liters of water a day. These extraction deals, which favor corporate production over citizens' needs, have left San Cristóbal in a constant state of drought. The frustration has boiled over into protests. In San Cristóbal, community members have taken to hijacking municipal water trucks and cutting pipelines, desperate to regain control over their own resources. They are tired of seeing their town drained by large corporations. Studies warn that by 2030, nearly half the country could experience severe water shortages, and the current trends suggest this may become a reality sooner than expected. The people of San Cristóbal and other communities understand that this fight isn't just about their immediate needs, it's about securing their future. Coca-Cola continues to deny responsibility, pointing to poor government management and rapid urbanization as the root causes of the crisis. The protests and community actions may not immediately reverse the situation, but they represent something bigger, a growing movement across Mexico to fight for water rights. The people are determined to protect their access to clean water, not only for themselves, but for future generations. Even though Coca-Cola has faced many controversies, it's important to recognize their impressive achievements as corporate thinkers who have made Coke a dominant drink and one of the world's most recognized brands. They provide jobs for about 100,000 people in Mexico and made a significant contribution to the country's economy by paying $1.3 billion in taxes in 2019. Between 2008 and 2020, Coca-Cola achieved an incredible milestone by planting an impressive 77 million trees across Mexico. Partnering with Femsa, which planted 129,000 trees in Chiapas alone, it's inspiring to see a major corporation making significant strides toward positively impacting both the environment and local communities. As the company's spokesperson shared with The Guardian interview, Coca-Cola is dedicated to collaborating with local and federal authorities, civil society organizations, and communities to drive positive change. If you feel this video highlighted the dark struggles of the Mexican people against a corporate giant, then I bet you'll enjoy our previous video. You won't believe how a small rope could destroy the world's largest airship ever built, which was also Hitler's favorite. Click the thumbnail on the screen, and I'll see you there in just a moment.